Hi Gemini, how are we today? Just doing our weekly readings, just looking at a bit of everything this week, kind of like a follow-up for what's going on in December, looking at a few different things. I will be looking at career, just checking in with love stuff, maybe focusing a little bit more this week on platonic love. So friends and family being, coming into the Christmas period, looking at that as well. Okay, but please subscribe to the channel if you're not already. I do really appreciate that support. It really does help out. So thank you so much. This week, I do have the Believe in Your Own Magic Oracle. I'm using the Miamondo Lenormand this week. I also have here the Money Moves Oracle deck as well as the Sweet Love Tea Oracle deck. Okay, so getting into it for you. Gemini, what does Gemini need to know right now, please? Important messages for Gemini. Just starting you off with maybe two of those ones. Okay, protest, start a revolution. Stand up for yourself, Gemini. There's some mistreatment that you have been receiving, and it's kind of like this people pleaser energy. You've been, trying to please everybody, and you cannot please everybody here, Gemini. It's time for you to protest and start a revolution, start to, push that people treat you differently to how they currently are. Standing up for yourself, very important here. We do also see the red card coming through, which is all about forgiveness. I do feel like for a lot of you, this is forgiving yourself for kind of letting people walk all over you a little bit, for not being able to protest this negative treatment up until sort of now. So I do feel like that's sort of what's going on with that there, Gemini. We'll just double check, get some clarity for you. Gemini, clarify this affirmation message for Gemini, please. Yeah. We firstly have the snake followed by the ring, and then we do have the dog coming through here. So this really does show me that this definitely is in regard to platonic type relationships here with you, with your life here, your friends and family, that kind of thing. With the snake and the dog on either side of that ring, what that's kind of telling us is that, there is the need to break the cycle a little bit here through the treatment that you're receiving from others. Because on one side, we've got that snake energy, which can be, deceitful, betraying type energy. People, that you're having to sort of walk on eggshells around, and, they don't necessarily have your best interests at heart. Whereas on the other side, we see the dog energy, which is all about friendship and loyalty and support, companionship. So we see the more ideal relationships in that dog energy here, whereas there is this some snakes around you, to be quite simple with that. People treating you like, if you say the wrong thing to them, they're going to lash out and bite at you, with that snake energy here. So I am kind of just feeling that this is really all about you looking at your relationships this week, and especially those platonic relationships, and standing up to those snake energies, starting a revolution. I'm not within your own self here. I forgive myself for, allowing myself to be, tempted by these sorts of people that, it's tempting to be a people pleaser sometimes, because then, it's a lot easier if everyone kind of likes you. But, true friends don't do that ish to you, Gemini. So, it's really about seeing the difference within the relationships in your life this week, Gemini, and really sort of, not giving to those snake energies, standing up for yourself against those energies, and, forgiving yourself for not paying enough attention to the people that truly are loyal and supportive of you here. So needing to sort of refocus a little bit, and paying attention to, what relationships actually are the ones that are supportive and loyal to you, and which relationships are kind of like a bit of a snake in the grass in your life here, where if you take steps in the wrong direction with that person, that they kind of rear up and bite at you, and really needing to sort of clear that all out, clear that energy out, get rid of all those snakes in your life here, because, they're only sort of looking out for their own self. They're, it does have the deception, the betrayal type energy here, that it's kind of this energy of they would sell you out kind of energy. So it's not necessarily a full deception or betrayal here, but it's kind of that energy of, if it came down to it, they would sell you out. So just being a bit more aware of the way that relationships are happening around you, and where you're putting your energy within relationships here, paying attention to the people that are actually genuinely supportive of you, rather than the snake type people in your life. All right, but we'll have a look at career for you here. Anything that Gemini needs to know right now in regards to career and finances, please? Anything Gemini needs to know right now in regard to career and finances? We have the direction card, as well as flexibility. Look at that beautiful octopus. So the direction card does say, do not deviate from your path, attract a mentor if necessary, plan where you want to be. Still needing to be very flexible though, adapt slowly by using versatility, compromise, adaptation, change, etc. Be flexible in your methods. So I'm kind of picking up that it's flexibility with that mentorship as well. So that it does say attract a mentor if necessary. I kind of feel like that's sort of letting you know, don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to research things, look into things on your own. Especially when it comes to planning ahead where you want to go with your job, your career. Definitely seeing that there is the need to maybe be flexible in the sense too here for some of you that things might change very sort of suddenly, rapidly. For you, in the next week or so with career stuff. So needing to sort of be very flexible. It's kind of that energy of, like an on-call type of job where you're thinking, oh, they're not going to need me. I'm on call, but they're not going to need me. But needing to actually be very flexible that, hang on, they definitely could call me and need me. So I do sort of pick that up for some of you here, that you're not expecting to be needed in the workplace, but then you are kind of called in short notice. So I do feel as though that's something that may be occurring for a lot of you here this week. Just anything else Gemini needs to know in regard to career and finances this week? Anything else Gemini needs to know in regard to career and finances? Definitely seeing, there's that book image again that we saw with that direction card. Knowledge is your friend this week when it comes to work and career, looking into things, asking for help, expanding your knowledge of, and your skill set of what you're doing, what you're undertaking. Even if you think you know it, maybe it's a good time to sort of reread the manuals and that kind of stuff. Go back over the procedures for things, definitely researching things this week, educating yourself a little bit more. This week is definitely going to be, working in your favor. I am kind of feeling for some of you here too that especially with that flexibility, for some of you may be having to take on a kind of a different role this week with work. So if there are multiple roles in your, your work here, maybe making sure you do have an understanding of how to do the other roles, because I do kind of feel a lot of you may be called in to help out in other areas of the work stuff this week. So it's kind of like this energy of, as an example, if you are a waitress and you know how to, collect dishes and do all that sort of stuff, take orders, but then this week, short notice, they need a little bit of extra help in the kitchen. So just making sure you've got a little bit of knowledge, basic knowledge on how to do that job as well, because I'm just kind of getting, for a lot of you, it's going to be something you may need to know this week, and you may need to be flexible to be able to help out where you can. Especially too with this backing up the flexibility, we have the heart and the rider coming through. So it's kind of like, being happy to help this week is going to really work in your favor. Coming in, good news, I'm happy to help. I'm coming in to work with a loving energy that I'm willing to sort of help. And, I'm coming in here with like when I'm saying loving energy, I'm not talking about like romantic love or anything like that. It's just kind of that, like I'm loving the opportunities. I'm loving, the knowledge, the skills. I'm loving, I feel like for a lot of you, it's got to do with this. It's like an opportunity, and the more that you're presenting to this, I'm willing to take this on, is where that heart is kind of coming through. It's I'm willing to take this on because I know that it's going to help me in the long run. So I'm willing to help you and the business or whatever it is. So coming in with, love in your heart for whatever it is that you're doing, regardless of whether you love the job or not. Okay. So we all know that sometimes work can be a very drudgery type thing, but you're coming in a very clean, loving kind of space that, you're just loving the opportunity to get extra hours, to get the extra money, that kind of energy. So that's really going to push you forwards when it comes to work at the moment. All right, but checking in with the love tea. What's the goss on Gemini when it comes to love? Give us the tea, right? Sweet love tea. We want all that tea. Gemini, what's going on for Gemini with love? Love blooms. So unfolding, a beauty possible, a romance blossoms into full-blown feelings. We also have, I cannot say this, ephemeral. Is that how you say it? Ephemeral? Short-term, having fun, having a brief affair or a rocky relationship. So I do feel as though this is actually, kind of playing off one another here, that something that has been a bit of a rocky relationship or a short-term sort of connection maybe is actually blooming into something a little bit more for you here, Gemini. So we will clarify that one as well. Clarifying the love energy for Gemini. What's going on for Gemini with love? Yeah, so we are seeing here the woman and the tree. So the feminine energy is growing, healing, moving forwards, maturing with the way that they're approaching love. So that, for those of you where this is a romantic situation that has maybe been a bit of a rocky relationship, had a brief affair type thing, the feminine energy in the pairing, whether that is you or the other person here, they are just developing their emotional growth a little bit here, so that we're maybe not fighting so much, and we're able to actually start blooming emotionally. I'm just getting this coming through very emotionally within the connection. So it's all about emotional growth that is allowing this connection to sort of start blossoming a little bit further. I am also getting that for a couple of you, this is referring to that platonic situation we did see at the start there. So for those of you where this is actually to do with your platonic situations, that snake energy is a feminine energy. So they have been a little bit snaky, and you're sort of starting to realize that, and you protesting that and standing up for yourself makes them kind of realize, oh, yeah, I am in the wrong here. I have been a little bit I've been the reason this relationship's been a bit rocky, and we can now blossom this into a stronger friendship or family relationship. For some of you, that may actually be to do with your mother. So for some of you there, once you stand up for yourself and sort of start the revolution, I'm not going to allow you to treat me this way, it does actually really and also we did see that forgiveness card. Now, I'm willing to forgive you for treating me this way, but you cannot treat me like this anymore. I'm standing up for myself. I'm, protesting the way that you've been saying these things or doing these things towards me. And that actually, brings you both closer and does allow this friendship, this family relationship to blossom a little bit further. So I am getting that this is sort of, for some of you, it's specifically romantic love, and for others of you, it is actually connected to that platonic situation there. But that's what we have for you this week, Gemini. You're more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Leave a comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all again soon.